Welcome back, one and all, to the Sitrep Podcast. I am your host, Ariskany Jim, and today I am joined by my friend Damon over there in the UK. Damon, sir, how are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. Thanks. How are you?
I can't complain too much. A little tired. We've been up for. I've been up quite a bit last night, trying to get this game ready. Lots of Gulf War content going out, guys, as I'm sure that you've noticed on our channels. Um, it's the 30th anniversary of the event. This is only going to come around once, so we did want to hit it pretty hard. At the same time, we don't want to do the same thing over and over and over again. So today we are going to be looking at a different aspect of the Gulf War. Some of the firefights and battles and skirmishes that were taking place exactly 30 years ago to the day. We're talking about the Special Forces raids or Special Forces operations that were going on in Iraq while the air war was going on, but before the ground war officially started. So the ground war officially starts on 24 February 1991. Of course, there are battles before that. Al Khafji, the forward reconnaissance battles, undertaken by 1st of the 41st, so on and so forth. But even before those battles took place, there were special operations of multiple countries deep in Iraq. I'm talking about hundreds of miles in Iraq, trying to find some of these Scud launchers. So, for people who may not be aware, I'll go over this super fast because I don't want to bog down the stream with a whole bunch of with too much history. But super fast, the air war against Iraq has started on 16 January 1991. Locally, it was like 2:43 in the morning on 17 January, but you guys get the idea. It started about a week ago, our time. Although the Iraqi Air Force was pretty badly out of the war by this point, what they were still managing to do, or they were still managing to mount as far as their reactions, were a series of launches from what they called the Scud Missile. So I think that's the NATO term for it. I can't remember the Russian term for it off the top of my head. And also the Iraqis kind of had their own version of it. They called it the Al Hussein. But basically this is a relatively short-ranged surface-to-surface ballistic missile system. A great big thing, gets carried around on a truck and launches and hits targets hundreds of miles away. So there were two major launch zones. There was a southern launch zone against coalition forces, and then there was a western launch zone out here where most of the Scuds would operate. Let me go ahead and expand that a little bit. So where most of the Scuds were actually based from. So while these guys were launching south against targets in the actual coalition ground forces or armed forces, this by the by, is where we saw the largest single loss of American life in the Gulf War. I think it was a water reclamation unit of Pennsylvania National Guard got hit directly, their barracks, by a Scud missile. It's like the only thing that the Scuds managed to hit that they were actually aiming at. I think it killed 28 people. So, yeah, they were hurting our military forces, perhaps even more ominously. Saddam was launching Scud missiles out of western Iraq against targets in Israel. Okay, Israel's not even in this war. Israel has nothing to do with the Gulf War, wants nothing to do with the Gulf War, doesn't care about the Gulf War. In fact, we are begging the Israelis to please, for the love of God, stay out of the Gulf War. If you come in the Gulf War, on our side, obviously, that's going to cause us major issues, because that's going to cost us all of our Arab allies, and once we lose our Arab allies, we've just lost all of our legitimacy in how we're invading an Arab state. Technically two Arab states, Iraq and Kuwait. We're trying to liberate Kuwait at the time. So Saddam starts launching cruise missiles, or not cruise missiles, these Scud ballistic missiles into Israel. We have Patriots there that are supposed to shoot them down. The Patriots didn't do nearly as well as CNN was telling us at the time. The information that the news agencies were getting from the military was a little skewed, to say the least. So other measures had to be taken to make sure that these Scuds were taken out of the equation. Because if Israel runs out of patience, I mean, Israel's getting bombarded by ballistic missiles, and we're telling them not to do anything about it. And for the moment, Israel is staying in its chair. But if she ever gets up out of her chair, we effectively lose the Gulf War. because if she retaliates against Iraq, that's it. We lose all of our allies, or all of our local Arab allies at least. The Qataris, the Kuwaitis, the Saudi Arabians, Omar, Bahrain, Syria, Egypt. We've got all kinds of allies in there. Moroccans, I mean Senegals, you name it. There was a huge number of Arab states actually trying to help us with this problem in Iraq. And we can get away with it until Israel joins the war. Is the long and short of it. So one of the other options that we were trying to do to neutralize this Scud threat was sending in special forces. So Americans operated in this northern area here. So roughly this is this rough shape. Trying to take out Scuds up here. That's going to be Delta Force, Green Berets, Navy SEALs, you name it. We were sending people up there to try and find some of these mobile Scud launchers. And then down here we have British Special Operations Forces in this section further to the south. Okay. The main area is that major highway that we just kind of sort of looked at. This is the Amman-Baghdad Highway. This was called Scud Alley at the time. This was the main road down which most of those launchers would be taken, and then they would either go up here or go down here to actually set up their launch sites. They would launch the missile, and then they would quickly sort of, get out of there before we could fix their location and destroy that target. Special Forces, their job was to find these mobile launchers and then fix their position and call it in for an airstrike. So we would have those MH-53 Pavlo specialized Air Force helicopters to take these out, or to at least guide the planes into the target. We would also have A-10 Warthogs were working on Scuds, F-15E Strike Eagles, and British Tornadoes. Were all coming in to hit the targets once the Special Forces had found them. The problem is they would often displace, so sometimes the Air Force wouldn't get there in time. And so then it comes down to Special Forces to actually take out the missile themselves, or the missile launch system. So again, here we have a little bit of a blow-up area. Again, this is Meg Alley. We have the American sector up here. We have the British sector down here. And what we're going to be looking at today is trying to take out a mobile Scud launching point down here at this target area here in the south. The system we're going to be using today is going to be our Sitrep Skirmish system that we've looked at in the past. This is the system we used for our 13 days to 13 hours project last year. Because we're out in the middle of the desert, we're way out in the western Iraqi desert, there's no city, there are no civilians, there's no friendly, ambivalent, or hostile militia. This is going to be a straight up sort of a, a tactical like attack game. So if anything, today's game will be even more streamlined and simple than our previous uses of this system, because there won't be any of that militia, roll for street events, status of the city or anything like that. So here's our game map area for today. Again, nice and simple. And we are looking at an Iraqi truck. We're looking at an Iraqi Scud Missile launcher. That's the actual vehicle that carries the Scud around. And then there's going to be a defending force of Iraqis around it. So again, they are anticipating coalition airstrikes, so there are two pieces of light anti-aircraft artillery here, which can be used against ground targets. Damon, I will warn you in advance, these two are probably your first two priority targets, because they do roll 3d12 apiece, and they're 23mm autocannon, twin 23mm automatic cannon, yeah. So, beware of those. The Scud launcher itself can't hurt you. It's literally just an unarmored truck sitting there. It's going through its launch process, and what we used last game what we used in the original 13 hours game for the ambassador status, we're going to do now for launch. So the Scud missile cannot launch on turn 1, can't launch on turn 2, can't launch on turn 3. On turn 4, I roll a dice. Maybe it launches. Maybe it launches. Maybe it launches. You're safe as long as I keep, failing these rolls or whatever. In other words, on turn 4, I roll a dice. If I roll a 2 up, the missile is still not launched. still not launched. 3 up, not launched. 4. So pretty soon the missile's going to launch. So it's your job to take out that truck as soon as possible. So here's our initial setup. Let me zoom in a little bit here. These Scuds were all part of either 223 or 224 Brigade of the Iraqi Army. They weren't controlled by the Republican Guard. I was a little surprised to learn, at least according to the sources I have. And we have, troops around there, and I'll go over the troops the Iraqis have in just a second. So zooming out again so we can see the whole map. I kind of overdid it there. There we go. The SAS, of course, being SAS, can attack from any table edge. It's a very open desert. Anyone who's been to the western Saudi Arabian desert or Iraq, in any of the recent conflicts, or has seen photographs of what western Iraq looks like, I'm not kidding when you almost have to roll 1d6 to avoid running over wandering Jawas. I mean, this is not like the Arab-Israeli War desert. This is not like the North African desert we saw in World War II. You might as well be on the moon. It is deep, deep Arrakis-level desert. So again, the table is extremely open. We've got these tiny little ridges and dunes that block line of sight. Some tiny scraps of like dead trees. That's those brown areas there. And then a couple buildings. And that's literally it. Way wide open compared to some of the other games of Sitrep Skirmish we see, which is usually an urban game. There's terrain crammed into every single hex to the point where there's almost no terrain rules. Here, the opposite is almost true. There's practically no terrain at all. But there is some. So the SAS player in his opening turns is going to have to make good use of surprise, what little bit of terrain there is, and his vehicles, and we'll get into that in just a second. Okay, so let's go into the force here for the SAS. So the SAS is going to have, oops, come on guy, get control of the keyboard there. There we go. 2 of these WMIK specialized Land Rovers with a large machine gun there on a pencil mount in the back. You can use those large machine guns. That's the dice code for those. To operate those, you have to have an actual person in the truck to actually, obviously use the machine gun. Other than that, you've got 2 fire teams of 4, obviously, each with an assault rifle, light machine gun, assault rifle with a grenade launcher, and a long arm, a marksman or a sniper, as you prefer. And again, we're also going to have a squad leader. Okay, this is Elements A Squadron, 22nd SAS Regiment. These were some of the guys that were involved there in Iraq in 1991. The Iraqis, for their part, are not militia, they are regular army. So they're a little better than the militia you may have fought in previous games, Damon, but they're, of course, by no means your level either, because they're not special forces. We have 4 fire teams, so 2 full squads, with 3 AKs, and then 1 of a RPD light machine gun. And then pretty much that times 4. So AK, RPD, and then again, rinse repeat for 4 fire teams, with a little platoon leader here, also with an AK. We then have 3 officers with either pistols or submachine guns. They're going to be hiding out in that abandoned radar station. And then we have 4 crews, 4 2-man crews. So that's for the Scud truck itself, that's for the support truck, that's for AA gun number 1, and that's for AA gun number 2. So they have AKSU carbines. They're not quite as good as AKs, so hence the 2d6 versus 2d8. But there are a lot of Iraqis on the table. And again, they do have some light artillery in the form of those AA guns. So here they are set up. Like I said, those 3 officers are hiding out, probably drinking tea in the abandoned radar site. We've got 1 Iraqi fire team back here, 1 Iraqi fire team over here, another Iraqi fire team on this building, and the 4th one is just kind of hanging out here, smoking and joking next to the Scud launcher itself, with the platoon leader included there. So sort of a standard perimeter, or kind of a sloppy perimeter. They've already left one big gap, I notice, but that's okay. A thing to watch out for is 2 AA guns. Those things are very deadly. So either take them out or take out the crew. As far as that goes, they can be taken out with any attack from an explosive weapon. So that's going to be your grenade launchers, if the grenade launcher hits, obviously. There's an unarmed truck with, again, the driver and the shotgun guy, and the actual MLRS itself, again, with the driver and the shotgun guy. Last little bit of rules information is the ambassador table that we used in our 13 hours game is what we're going to be using this time for when the Scud launches. You've got to take out the Scud before it launches. So you've called in the strike. The strike has either come in and missed, or the strike has been diverted, or had bad weather, who knows what. For some reason, the air support version, or the air support option for this mission has failed, which I've actually found out as recently as this morning happened a lot. There's a great deal of question about how effective this whole Special Forces aircraft sort of operation versus Scuds were. The Iraqis were launching Scuds right up until the end of the war, and the rate of launches were increasing. They dipped in the middle, but they were back on the rise at the very end of the war. So people are really starting to question whether or not this, SAS or Delta Force or Green Berets call in the strike comes in, blows up the Scud missile, whether or not this whole model was working. Statistically, the numbers aren't there. This wasn't working. So we're actually going to use that a little bit to our game advantage today. The airstrike went to the wrong coordinates. The airstrike was delayed by weather. They got called to a different target. There's been a mix-up in communications. Something happened to that airstrike. So now it's up to you guys to take out that missile on the ground before it launches. And this is the table that we're going to use to see whether or not it launches. So now that I've talked myself hoarse, what do we think of the scenario? And do you have any thoughts? And other than that, are we ready to start, Mr. Damon?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Remind me of the ranges on the weapons, Jim.
Okay, no worries. The ranges on the weapons are the same. This is a very simple system, guys. So the range of the weapon system is the same as the dice code. So, now I've lost it. Yeah, so if it's a D8 weapon, it shoots out to 8 hexes. So the attack and the attack and the range are kind of the same number. That has served us well so far. It broke down a little bit when it comes to shotguns, which we don't have in this game, so don't worry about it. But other than that, it's a mix of how big the weapon is, pistol ammunition, rifle ammunition, heavy machine gun ammunition, things like that. Or and also training. So a militiaman fires a D4 with a pistol. Pistol ammunition, it only shoots out to 4. He's not well trained, it's not accurate. A regularly trained soldier, has a D6 with that same weapon. Again, it's a light pistol round, but he's better with it, so it shoots out to 6 inches. And an operator, I don't have any operators with pistols, but if we ever had like a John Wick figure or something, he's a kick-ass elite guy, but all he has is a pistol, he would shoot out to D8 with a pistol. So that number sort of simply not only accounts for the size of the ammunition, which is the predominant factor when determining range, but also it's the skill, the level of training with the weapon.
Right.
Mr. Anthony Dickinson, welcome to our stream on YouTube. And Jen, okay, we've had more dialogue from Damon, so let us know if Damon still has an echo. If not, we can fix that. I'm sorry, Damon, did you have any questions? Go ahead and give us one more sound test.
No, I'm cool. I think I've got an idea of which way to start, but we'll see.
Alrighty. The Iraqis don't really get a turn 1. Right now, you still have surprise. And Jen, do me a favor when you get a chance, let me know how Damon sounds now. If he still sounds bad. Or echoey, I should say. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get started. So again, the Iraqis are set up. The SAS obviously moves first. So, the movement is either 1, 2, or 3. Oh, I'm sorry. The vehicles move at 10 on a road and 5 off the road. And of course, you've got 2 vehicles. So we're going to say which SAS guys are in which vehicles.
All right, yeah. Have the Wimics just got the 150 cal, or have they got the dash-mounted Jimpy as well?
Yeah, it's drawn in there in the dash-mounted general-purpose machine gun is drawn in there. So yes, was just a short answer. And that 4D10 is like the combined dice code. So pretty much
Right.
truck machine guns.
Mm-hmm.
You know what though? That's a good question. I tell you what. How about if you've got both guys? If you've got 2 guys in the SAS vehicle, we'll make up a quick rule. If you've got 2 guys in the SAS vehicle, in other words, you can operate both machine guns, and no one's driving. So you need a driver. The driver's there on the left-hand side of the vehicle. I'm sorry, the right-hand side of the vehicle, as it should be. So
Yep, get it right.
I've actually found vehicles with the land, because they make Range Rovers or Land Rovers here in the U.S. Yeah. I find them with the steering wheel on the other side of the vehicle. So a little bit of extra research there. But anyway, okay. So in order to make the vehicle move, you need to have a guy there who can't do anything. That takes a lot out of your firepower. Then if this guy wants to use it, he gets 2d10 there, and then if this guy wants to use it, it's going to be the other 4d10 there. So it says 4d10. I was assuming just one machine gun would be used. If you want to have 2 guys in the vehicle using both machine guns, give me a second. Give me a second, guys. Game design on the fly here. That's actually a really good question. Operator with heavy machine gun. Operator with light machine gun. 4d10. Oh, you know what I did? 4d... Okay, hold on. Whoa. Okay. 3d12. Let's do it right. Plus the possibility of 3d10. Because 4d8 is a light machine gun. A heavy machine gun shoots further at a slower rate of fire. So operator heavy machine gun is the 3d12. That's the 50 on the back. Operator light machine gun is 48. That's a SAW or something like that. This is an actual like FN Mag M240. The Americans call it, I believe the British call it the L7A2. Long story short, take your first shot. That's going to be the 3d10. So we'll go ahead and change that for both of the vehicles. That's actually a good question. That makes the game a little bit more accurate. Thank you. Now you need like 2 people in the vehicle to do this. 3 if you want it moving while you do this. So it's almost a question of whether or not you want to fight mounted or not. And we do have rules for vehicles, and those are going to be the same rules for vehicles that we used in the actual 13 Hours game. Because these vehicles are slightly armored, but they're by no means APCs or tanks. And they have the movement rate of 10 on-road and 5 off-road. Okay, so, oops, I keep zooming out too far. S. Broadstone, welcome to the stream on YouTube. And hello, Mr. Forperlbyte. It's good to see you as always. Forperlbyte says, we jointly played Apache Thunderbolt Leader last night. We were hunting Iraqi Scuds in the first Gulf War. Well, awesome. How about this is the SAS mission that was trying to call in your airstrike? Anthony says, give me a Gatling gun and I'll take it all out. Yeah, the problem that, again, I have the PDF from the U.S. Army, or from the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency that actually ran the numbers and did the report after the Gulf War. It wasn't that the aircraft couldn't take out the Scuds, it's just by the time the aircraft got there, the Scuds were gone. A common tactic that the Iraqis used was just to fire the missile and then park the damn truck and, park the actual, what is it, there's an actual name for the vehicle. The MAZ 543, park the damn thing under a highway overpass. And boom, the Air Force couldn't find it. So, yeah. Tactically, it wasn't very effective. Operationally, it definitely wasn't effective. Strategically, this whole general program is still considered a success because it gave the Israelis just enough cover with their own people, their own civilians, their own citizens, their own political leaders to stay out of the Gulf War. So if Israel again had joined the Gulf War because of these Scuds, we would have had major problems. So between the Patriots and the Special Forces Air Force connection, didn't take out that many Scud launchers historically. Maybe we'll change history a little bit here today, but historically, not as many as people think. So it's a strictly military operation, kind of a failure. I hate to say it. But again, the overall objective strategically was to keep Israel out of the war, and in that they succeeded. So half dozen in one hand, 6 in the other. Okay, sorry, Damon. I don't mean to keep interrupting you. Are you going to go ahead and set up your guys, or make your initial approach?
The building, that sort of perimeter, is that a high wall or a low wall, or is it just a fence line?
Yeah, it's a small brick wall, a short stone wall. Okay, you can definitely see over it.
Okay, and the ZSUs are on hilltops, are they? Or
yes.
Raised terrain?
Well, very, very minor. They have no effect on movement. They do block line of sight between hexes. That's the only reason they're there. I wanted to break up the desert approach lines at least a little. Realistically, historically, this should be a pool table. Western Iraq is like, it's not even like a sandy desert, it's like a broken rock desert. It's like nothing. But just from a game design perspective, I wanted to put some kind of terrain in here to make the stream not so boring and make sure that you don't get massacred coming in. You have some kind of cover for your initial approach. So we'll just put the 2 vehicles on the map now, and then we'll figure out what guys are in which vehicle. Did you have any idea which way you were coming in? And your special forces on surprise, you can come in from any table edge.
I'm thinking coming from the west.
Okay. So there is a roadblock here, but other than that...
Yep. So... they've got no... They can see... They can't... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So we'll enter the map. See where it says Western Iraq?
Yep.
Top left corner.
Oh, way up to the northwest. I got you.
Yep. Sort of the hex down one, just off below the W.
Okay.
Yep. Just there.
Okay, so you're off-road. The vehicle will have a movement rate of 5, so that's 1 is Bravo 3.
Yep.
And again, the Iraqis are surprised, so no opportunity fire on the first turn.
Yep. Can both vehicles be in the same hex? Are the hexes big enough?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
I should note, just for people in the audience, the hexes, because again, from our original game was for 13 hours, 13 days. So, if I can ever find the stupid map, which apparently I don't have. Okay, never mind. It was for like 2 square miles of downtown Benghazi in 2012. So, it's played generally on that scale. The movement and ranges are made for that scale. Needless to say, the miniatures, or I should say the playing pieces, are nowhere near to scale. With the map. They're roughly to scale with each other, even that's not really true. The men are way too big compared to the vehicles. But yeah, to answer your question, you can definitely put 2 vehicles in a hex. Stacking in the game is technically infinite.
Yeah, so they're both going to enter there.
Okay.
And move forward along the side of that little bank, heading southeast, and end up just north of that little wooded area.
All right. Yep, that's 5. That's our full movement. That's them right there. All right, let me get our guys, and then we'll zoom in a little bit, because I realize you guys can't really see any detail at this range. So every one of these SAS guys is unique, and there's plenty more. I think I made up a total of like 27 SAS guys. You would never need 27 SAS guys in a given game. That would just be way too much. Obviously, SAS work in small units. But we have, like, different versions of hair, beard, weapons, kit. Some of them are wearing helmets, some of them are bareheaded, some of them have the little watch caps. It's definitely cold weather gear, because this is January, and even in the desert, especially this remote desert, away from the Persian Gulf, away from the Mediterranean, away from the Red Sea, I can tell you, that western desert got really, really cold. That was a cold, cold-ass winter. Okay, so you can fit like 4, maybe 5 guys in a vehicle, sort of cramming them in there. So does it matter to you which guys go in which vehicles, or you just want to put one fire team in each vehicle?
Yeah, one team in each vehicle. The standard rifleman without the grenade launcher is driving.
Oh yeah, we do have to set that up.
In both vehicles.
Okay, we have to set up who's driving. I have these vehicles going exactly backwards. Oh no, they're backing into the battle area. Sorry about that. Okay, so the driver is there. He's the guy with the regular. I think it's an XM177. I don't think the M4 was really out yet. I could be wrong about that. Okay, same with the other guy. He's technically the fire team leader. All right, so they're both in the driver's seat. Who's riding shotgun with the L7?
The guy with the saw, with the LMG.
Okay. Saw gunners are. It's like one machine gun is not enough. I must have 2. Okay, he's in the shotgun seat.
Yeah, the marksmen are manning the 50 cal.
Because he's used to playing with really big toys. There you go. And then everybody else, I assume, is a passenger. I'll just put him back there.
A grenadier in each.
We're sort of running out of space here. And the squad leader's in that vehicle. Or the squad leader. The overall team leader. Okay, cool. So I think I do have an actual turn sequence here for a change. Oh my god. I even removed the, finally, the GRS terminology from the turn sequence. That's been an ongoing freaking disaster here on our streams. Finally rectified. Okay, guys, so like I said, there's no civilians here. We're way out in the western desert. There are no civilians, no militias. So phases like determined street level, street events, ambivalent movement, ambivalent pedestrian movement, we're going to skip all that shit, and it's going to go straight to, this part of the turn sequence. Now, again, the SAS has initiative and surprise, so we skipped hostile vehicle move, hostile pedestrian move. We've just done operator vehicle move, so now we're already down to operator pedestrian move. So you don't have to, but I'm just going to ask, is anyone dismounting those WMIKs at this time, or are they staying in?
Nope.
They're staying in? So that's the end of operator pedestrian move. There's no interpreter checks, no operator, no medic checks yet, because no one's been hit. Operator small arms fire. Oh no. Now, my guys technically did not move last turn, because there was no turn last turn, so they do have the cover and conceal bonus. Especially since I'm behind that roadblock. But it is your fire phase, is the long and short of
it. Can the grenadiers see the Scud launcher?
Can the grenadiers? That's a good question. If you already took out the Scud launcher, I'm going to be really embarrassed. Oh no. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me I screwed up already. Technically, yes. Can they reach it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Barely, yes. Oh my god. Okay, guys, this is going to be a short stream. Oh, I should have put some more terrain on the map. Oh well, no worries. Oh, well played. Yeah, you do have a, again, these are like 100 meter, not 100 meters, these are like 100-foot hexes. So, yeah, there's no way that now you are going to have to hit the Scud, which is going to be tougher than it sounds because it's at extreme range. But if you do score a hit, that will destroy the Scud launcher, at least to the point where it won't be able to launch stably. It won't, from a nice level platform. You blow one wheel out of it, the launch pad's going to be off by a few degrees. It can no longer launch and hit anything, obviously. But again, these are like at least 75 to 100 foot, probably 75 foot hexes. So 4 guys in a hex or a single truck is not going to block line of sight. In most games that I play, units, either friendly or enemy, do not block line of sight. There are exceptions to that, but this is not one of them. Okay, cool. So the 2 Grenadier guys, okay, they are driving. Okay, we're going to go ahead and...
They're hanging on the back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're
the standard riflemen are drivers. Yep.
Right. The grenade launchers guys are gonna go ahead and fire. There are passengers in those WMX.
Yep.
They're at extreme range, so I'm gonna add 1 to my defense dice for the extreme range. I'm gonna add 1 to my defense dice for the fact that you're firing from a moving vehicle. It's not like that grenade launcher is mounted to a pencil or anything. So, long story short, you get a D10 for your grenade launcher, just like it's printed on the counter, and I get a D8 plus 2 to avoid it. So I show people in the chat, yeah, there's a grenade launcher guy. So, zooming in, because I spent a lot of time on these graphics. Yeah, there's a grenade launcher guy. There's Sergeant Collins, we'll say. Yeah, he's got the XM177, I think it was, complete with the desert camouflage, which again, when you find Scud Hunter pictures on like Google Images, you'll see that was how they were painted. And then you'll see there's that black grenade launcher. Historically, the grenade launchers were also painted camouflage, but I left them like that so that you could see it. There are some slight inaccuracies in the game just for gameplay. Oops. Just for ease of gameplay. Oops. Alright, otherwise you would lose track of which ones were grenade launcher guys and which ones were... Alright, so let me turn on my webcam, take out some of these extra dice. Okay, so grenade launcher number 1, go ahead and roll a d10. Let me get your Skype call thing going here. Show, please. Show, please. It's not letting me show your...
Oh, it's a 5.
That really stinks. It's not letting me show your... Oh, there it is, the 5. Okay, cool. Let me put this back where it was. Okay, a 5. Let me get up my webcam. A D10, again, plus 2. So the first grenade to hit the Scud launcher. 1 plus 2 becomes a 3. Your roll beat my roll. That's a hit with a grenade launcher. And that's my modified roll. And we'll see what that grenade launcher does in just a second. But that's 1 hit so far. Okay, roll for the second one. And we're looking at a 10. Oh man, I'm not going to beat that. Unless I tie it. If I roll an 8, it's a tie. And in this game, a tie is a miss. So, come on baby, do it for me. An 8 becomes a 10 with those 2 pluses equals a 10, which is a miss. So 1 grenade did hit, though. So let's go to the vehicle damage table. Okay, 3d10 for an explosive weapon. You're probably going to destroy it, but there's a chance that the vehicle could just not be damaged enough.
Ooh.
What are we, let me see if I can make this a little smaller.
A 1 and 2 10s.
Okay, the 1 vehicle is okay, no effect. Let me make this a little smaller here. There we go. Oh my god. Sorry guys. Slight tech issue here with my video camera settings. Okay, but the 10 is vehicle wrecked. All passengers severely wounded or incapacitated. Yeah, so that's it. Oh man, I don't get to launch my Scud missile. All that talk about when we're going to launch and all this suspense for when that launcher is finally going to go up, and then Damon wrecks it. Thanks, Damon. I appreciate you wrecking my game. Alright, so again, not only
That's what I'm here for.
That's right. You are here to win the game. So not only is the... that's a real Chuck Norris moment right there, man. Firing a grenade launcher off the back of a moving Land Rover. And that also takes out these 2 crewmen, as specified in that 10. Okay, well, now you just have to,
Tidy up.
yep. I did have this marked as an objective hex. I don't know. I mean, we're just playing around here. I had a feeling that Scud was going to get taken out, but then this abandoned radar site was going to have documents in it and stuff like that for where all their Scud launchers were, what their schedule was, you know, how they were being deployed, what routes they were taking.
There's an intel mission to pull off as well.
Okay, so anyone else firing off the back of those Land Rovers?
Yep, the general's going to do some business off both of them, and the Marduces.
Okay, so we fired the 2 grenade launcher guys. That's Yarmouth and Nathan. Then we have Collins, except I'm not doing that right. Damn it. I made the pieces specifically for that. No, Nathan is the actual squad leader. Collins and Yarmouth. Okay, Nathan is now going to fire. He's the actual team leader. Alright, cool. Who's he shooting at?
He's just going to put this fire into the barricade.
Okay. There's anyone in particular you're aiming at? There's 3 assault rifles and a... Oh, God. There's supposed to be a light machine gunner there, but I don't have him there, so never mind. Yeah, there's 4 AK guys, so it doesn't really matter. Hold on, let me see. Let me quickly fix that. Because that means that one of these other fire teams has 2 light machine gunners in it. Yep, 3D8, 3D8. So this guy is supposed to be swapped out with this guy. Each fire team is supposed to have 1 light machine gunner and 3 AK guys. This one down here had 2 light machine gunners. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so do you want to aim at the light machine gunner?
Yes, yeah,
because
we'll do that.
The biggest dice class, yeah. Okay, he gets to roll 2d10. Again, I get to add, oh man, a lot to my roll. So I get to roll d8s, not d6s, because these guys are not militia. I get to roll twice, and I get to add 3 to my die roll. You're not at extreme range, so never mind. So it's going to be +1 for shooting off a moving vehicle, +1 for my conceal bonus. I have a cover and conceal bonus. So it's going to be 2d8. I get to add 2 to both results. You get to roll 2d10, and we'll see what's what. So first, my rolls to see what you have to beat. Okay, my highest roll was a 6, which becomes an 8. An 8 is what you have to beat. You get 2 chances with a d10. You got a 10, which does beat me, so that is the light machine gunner knocked down. Nice. Alright.
Okay. Yeah, that was a 9 and a 10, by the way, so if you saw...
Oh, I saw the 10. I didn't see the other one, but the 10 was enough.
His shooting was well on target.
These dice don't get added together. It's a rate of fire, and it's how many chances you get to score a certain number. Anthony Dickinson, in the chat, Anthony Dickinson's laughing, and I guess he's talking about the Scud Missile. He says, so that's it? Well, not really, because he has to take out the truck, and he's got to destroy, or he's got to occupy this abandoned radar site. Again, that hex is outlined in bright yellow, which makes it an objective. So there's documents in there, intelligence, routes, and so on and so forth. We probably already answered this question, but just in case. Also, if I knock out like 1 or 2 of his SAS guys, that's kind of considered like a draw, if not a win. One thing that we do a lot here on the Sitrep podcast is a lot of modern warfare. That's kind of our main thing. And modern warfare is always extremely asymmetrical. He's probably going to table me. I mean, everyone who's watched any of our streams knows that the First World Force versus the Insurgent Force or versus the Second Rate Army, the First World Force will always table their opponent. It's how fast they can do it, and it's how cheaply they can do it. They can't take too many losses, like really any losses. Otherwise, the mission is considered a failure. Okay, sorry, on to your next guys. You said the Marduces?
Yeah, 250 cals and the 2 GPMGs will do some business.
Okay, we'll do the 50 cals first. Who are they shooting at?
1 each at a rifleman
Okay, so I'm pretty sure they're dead. 3D12 is the dice code for the operated for the elite operated 50 caliber machine gun. I get to add again. I get to roll twice and add 2 to my die roll. So for the first guy, what I get is a. Oh god, yeah, they're so dead. My best roll is a 5. Can you beat a 5 on a D12? On 3D12, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's
4,
one guy.
an 11, and a 12.
That's one guy down. Okay, roll for the other one. Oh yeah, he's dead.
Ooh, a 1, a 1, and an 11.
Yeah, that 11 is unbeatable. Even if I rolled an 8, that would only become a 10. All right, cool. So that's 2 more AKs knocked down. Okay, and last but not least, we have, or not last but not least, we have the M240s. Those are going to be 3D10s. Oh, jeez. Look at these rolls. Oh, no. 3, 3, and 3. My highest roll was a 4. Oh, you're 5. Sorry, you're 5. My highest roll is a 4. Your 5 beats my 4. Yep, that's it. You almost survived that.
When you get
my highest...
Oh, no, that was modified, was it?
Yeah. Again, cover and conceal, so I roll 2d8s, add 1 for my concealment. I'm adding 1 because you're firing off a moving vehicle. But it doesn't matter, I still end up getting splattered on that.
Cool.
Okay.
Right.
So, you've got more fire now from your, well, the drivers can't shoot. I think you're done. The drivers can't shoot. We fired the 240s,
that should be it, yeah.
we fired the M2s, we fired the grenade launchers, we fired the squad leader. Cool. We now go to operator small arms. Now, it's not going to help me right now.
We can't fire anything else.
Just wanted to show that this unit is swivelable. How cool is that? Alright, so that unit swivels. Unfortunately, I don't think I have line of sight. Pretty sure that you made sure of that. Yeah, that line.
And I'm at the limit of your range.
Limit of the range, I can see past those trees just barely. However, what's saving you right now is this ridge. H9 and I9. Hotel 9, India 9. Other than that, I have line of sight.
Oh, yeah.
I do have line of sight from some other units, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just not the range. Okay, so doesn't look like there's going to be any inside militia. I should say hostile small arms. He's blocked by trees, also out of range. Okay, cool. So there's no close combat, no bleed out checks, no victory checks. We begin turn 2. That was his freebie, everybody. Because guess what? The Iraqis now know they're here. So no more surprise. Okay, starting over the turn for turn sequence 2, we start with hostile vehicle movements. Yes, we will do some hostile vehicle movement. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's enough. He no longer has cover and concealment. He just wants to get behind that dune. Okay. After which the guys will dismount from the vehicle. Oops. Okay. Other vehicle movement. I don't think I have any more vehicles. Okay, that makes that easy. Hostile pedestrian movement. Yes, I have a little bit of hostile pedestrian movement. Actually, no, what am I doing? Alright, the proverbial ant pile is kicked over, and the Iraqis are now moving around. Alright, cool. That will complete Iraqi movement, and I will catch up with Mr. Chat. Anthony says, oh, be right back, y'all. I gotta take care of some admin stuff real quick. Oh, never mind. I thought that may have taken longer. No worries, Anthony. Glad you're still with us. I don't expect today's stream is going to be terribly long. This game was written to be very quick and easy for a larger engagement than this. That was originally for Benghazi 2012, with the added mechanic for ambivalent militia that might join the GU, might join the enemy. A whole extra layer of complication that this game, given the historical scenario, is not going to include. So we're not going to be here too long today, guys. Today's going to be a nice, short and sweet one. Okay, we now go over to operator vehicle movement. So a lot of Iraqis scurrying for cover.
Question is, do I take the vehicles in or do I dismount? It's three hexes on foot, isn't it, Jim? For
3
people?
on foot, and then you're in the open. If you only travel 2 on foot, you're covered. If you travel 1 on foot, you're covered. Sorry, I messed that up. 3 on foot, you're in the open. 2 on foot, you are now concealed. 1 on foot, you're covered. 0 on foot, you are covered and concealed. You spent the turn digging.
Right.
The map looks fine for me, Howard. Sorry about that. Then again, you might want to check your display settings. See if you're streaming at 720/60 is what we're broadcasting at. We don't go up into like 1080 or 4K or anything crazy like that. So if you're looking for that kind of resolution, yeah, it's us. Other than that, yeah, we're broadcasting at 720 and we're not dropping any frames or anything.
I've got nothing about the main threat's the ZSU. If I move out into the open, and a bit of small arms fire from the radar site. But I think I want to get the.
Oh crap! I didn't move.
Sorry,
I purposely did not move those guys in the radar site. Go ahead. Sorry.
What sort of size is that wall around the radar site, Jim?
You can run over it with no problem. The Range Rovers will not drive through it. It's a low stone wall. It's like a 3-foot stone wall, but it's a stone wall.
Yep.
So yeah, the Range Rovers will not crash through it. An APC like a BMP or a Warrior would not have a problem with it, but a soft-skinned vehicle, even an armored soft-skinned vehicle, that doesn't make any sense. But you know what I mean. A Land Rover wouldn't be able to drive through it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, right. Okay. So shit or bust. the Land Rovers are going to turn left as they come out of the cover there into G5
Right.
and end up in K5. They're going to do sort of like a hook turn. Yep.
Okay, no problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. So, actually, let me put that back. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's kind of what we're looking at right there.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Cool. Come on. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, cool. I do see you. I'll add 1 to your defense roll because you are you have partial cover from that stone wall. Again, it's only a 3-foot wall or so, so especially on high ground, that ZU-23-4, sorry, that ZU-23-2 will see over it, but and it's not quite at extreme range. But I'll give you +1. Yeah, definitely +1 for the stone wall cover. Is anyone going to dismount for the vehicle, or are they staying in the vehicle for now?
Yeah, we're going to be dismounting the. Hang on, no.
You want me to zoom in a little?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
We're just deciding what to do.
Yeah, we're gonna, I guess, dismount some of the people and not others.
At
At the end of the movement,
yep.
anybody can dismount. We'll obviously say that.
Yep.
Okay, so that was the crew of Vehicle 1.
Yeah.
Select the whole piece, please. There we go. That was the crew of Vehicle 2. Alright, who is staying in? Saw gunner.
Team leader.
Okay, go ahead.
The team leader and the 2 saw gunners, and yeah, they're dismounting initially.
Got it.
And taking up position in cover at the wall.
Right.
The 250 cals are going to engage the ZSU.
Okay, so the snipers are staying in the vehicle to operate the M2s. Okay.
Yep.
2 grenadier guys.
And the 2 grenadier guys are going to dismount to the wall as well.
Okay. And then the 2 drivers are staying in.
Yeah, can they change position to the No, yeah, they're going to stay in the vehicle.
Yeah, they can head over and operate the machine gun. Well, as long as they're in the other seat, though, the vehicle can't move. But you're done moving for this turn anyway, so.
Yeah.
Now
we'll do that.
They won't. They spent their turn moving, so they won't really be able to. Let's see. We don't have a rule for this yet. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Right.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll just thinking, yeah, no, we'll do it like that.
All right, I'll go ahead and take my fire. Otherwise, I will never get a chance. Okay, because I have a funny feeling even at this range, you're going to be able to take out that ZU-23-4. I wish there was a way I could change the default zooms on this Excel display to kind of cut down on that over zooming. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you're in range of both machine guns, the 240s and the. Ironically, you're in range of the 240s or L7s, whatever, and the 50 cal. So you're not in range of the saw. So yeah, the saw gunners are gonna have to shoot at somebody else. Because the saws only have a range of 8. Smaller, they fire 223 Remington, 556 NATO. Okay, so that gives me 3d12. I am shooting at one of the Land Rovers, obviously. Okay. I am no longer concealed, however, I will be covered. Because, again, I'm not moving. Covered. But I'm not concealed because, obviously, I'm giving my position somewhat. Also, this is the first time we've used light artillery in this game. Vehicles can never be concealed because they're too big. I would assume the same would be for light artillery bases. So, no big change there. Okay, 3d12. You're going to roll a standard d10 defense dice for the SAS. You do get to add. You do get to add 1 to your roll for that wall. All right, so go ahead and roll.
Useful 9.
Okay, a 9. Here comes mine. Okay, 9 becomes a 10.
Oh.
So that wall saved you. Because of that wall, because a tie is always a miss in this game. God damn it, man. My one good shot. Shit. Oh, no. I hate everything. Okay, that is it for my fireface. God, son of a bitch. Okay. Yeah, that stone wall saved you. Cool. Make sure nothing else ever had a shot. These guys saw you for a split second, but they're way too far away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, yes, because you turned from F5 to G5. So by the time they saw you move to G5, you were too far away. Barely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Damn it, Damon. Are you trying to win the game or something? What's going on here? Plus with my
Power gaming.
Damn you, Alpha Strike. All right, guys. Hello, Ben Johnson. Welcome to the stream, sir. We're trying some SAS Scud Hunters today. All right. So that's not so hot. And now comes the bad news. Good news is good news for me is very few of his weapons can actually reach me at this range, but it will probably still be enough. Okay. Cool. Go ahead and fire off your well, whichever you want to shoot first, the 50s or the L7s.
Do the 50s first. That's
Okay.
the schmexiest.
3d12. I get my d8s, and again I get to roll twice, and I get to add 1. I don't get to add 1 to my result because I'm not at your extreme range. I will get to add 1 to my result when it comes to your 240s, because they are the extreme range. But I'm just going to go ahead and roll twice because of my cover bonus. So, Mr. Dice. Okay, here we go. Oops. Yeah, okay. The first M60 missed. Because your best roll was a 4, my best roll was a 6 plus 1. No, my best roll was just a 6. Yeah, so I've dodged that first one. Alright, you have a second M2 50 cal.
That's better.
No!
7, 11.
Oh, I can't win. That's going to be at least 1 hit. But it matters how many hits. Alright, so you scored 2 hits. Okay, so that means that because you're now hitting a vehicle class weapon with a vehicle class target with a non-explosive weapon. So, oops. What you need now is 1d8 for each hit scored. But you get to roll twice because you scored 2 hits.
6 and a 7.
Oh man, vehicle okay, vehicle disabled. So that basically reads as gun disabled. Stop and hex, passenger okay. 6 was the vehicle was okay, but you hit the crew. Each passenger rolls. Okay, I gotta roll 2d6 for my passengers. Okay, I gotta roll 2 for my gunner and my assistant gunner. 6, he is severely wounded, which means he's off the table. And 3, the assistant gunner's okay. And then the second one happens, and vehicle disabled, passengers are okay. So the vehicle is now wrecked. When I say vehicle, I mean gun, obviously. The gun is now wrecked. Oh no! And one of the crew is a casualty. Okay, that was the effect of the two 50 cals. Are the two 240 still going to shoot? There's pretty much one asshole.
We might as well suppress the building.
You don't have any targets in the building. The building has 2 building hexes between you. Are we talking about the officers in the building? Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, forgot that bit. Yeah, they might as well just carry on spraying.
All right, yeah, there's still one crewman down there. Yeah. Okay, he's still covered. So he gets to roll twice. You're rolling now. You are going to be at extreme range. So I think it's 3d10 for each 240. L7, you know what I mean. 30 caliber machine gun. Cool. Here's my first defense roll. All right, so your best was a 9. Oh man, I can't beat that. Technically, I can. I can roll an 8, which means I get a +1 for extreme range. I can technically survive this. I do not. He's also splat. Oh no. I was hoping that regular forces would do a little bit better, but apparently I deployed them too spread out. Okay, I think that's all the targets you have available at the moment. I could be wrong, so let's check. Ridge in I-9 protects that truck crew. Woods in Quebec 8 protects my fire team in Romeo 8. Building Hex November 5 is screened. Pretty sure that most everything else is either out of line of sight or out of range. Tell you what, take a look at the map and check while I check on Mr. Chat over here. Okay, here we go. My friend is a major in the Marines in 91, says those missing nuclear warheads on the bottom of the Euphrates River. Okay. Not sure if there were missing warheads in 91. There were supposedly weapons of mass destruction in 2003, but not sure about that. Never been to the bottom of the Euphrates River. I'll have to take his word for it. Supposed to be 2 fallen angels at the bottom of it. However, I wonder if there is a connection. Not sure what we mean by fallen angels. Do you mean broken arrows? In other words, disabled, lost, or accidentally released nuclear weapons that didn't detonate. Alrighty. Cool. So we're caught up on Mr. Chat. Hopefully are getting lag on Twitch, but only a little bit in YouTube. Okay. Ooh, that's not good. Give me 2 seconds to sort this out. Alright, everyone. Let me go ahead and copy this link over. Alright guys, for anyone who might be watching us in Twitch, I went ahead and put the YouTube link in Twitch. So if you're experiencing playback issues in Twitch, check us out in YouTube. The YouTube chat is, our YouTube stream is behaving a little bit better. Twitch is acting really squirrely lately on some of our streams. YouTube has been more steady. So again, if you're on Twitch and you're having lag issues, follow that link that I just pasted in the chat window, and it'll take you over to our stream in YouTube where things are going a little bit better. All right, just to confirm real quick, any more movement or any more?
No, I've got no more targets at the moment, so I'm happy with that.
Operator small arms, militia small arms. I think I already took my small arms fire with opportunity fire, and I wound up missing. That was my one big shot, man. We've done operator small arms, hostile small arms. Again, if you had no targets, I have no targets. No close combat, no bleed out checks, no victory checks. Turn 3. Okay. We'll start with hostile vehicle movement. I don't think I'll take any. We'll then go with operator vehicle movement. Okay, your operators cannot move because your drivers are now in the gunner seats. So there's no operator pedestrian movement. This is where your guys will change seats back over to the drivers. Of course, all your guys can move around that are already on foot. Other people can either dismount or remount, however you guys want to do that.
I think I'll remount the drivers.
We'll go back to the driver.
Yep.
Or
yep.
I'm sorry, okay.
I just had an idea. Something I might need in a couple of turns' time.
So there's now no one operating the 240s.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And then the 5 dudes.
Yep.
Are going. They're going to breach the building.
Okay, so which hexes are they moving into? First hex is either L4 or L5, I take it? Or they can split up. They don't have to be in the same hex.
Let's see now. So we've got 2 grenade launchers, 2 saws, and an assault rifle.
Right, we've got 2 saws, grenade launcher, and 1 assault rifle. Yep. If the graphics aren't clear, which they should, they might not because they're too small, you can always tell by the dice code.
We are pistol packing. We are.
There's 1 pistol guy and 2 submachine gun. Yeah.
Do I go balls to the wall and just do me 3 charge straight in, or do I?
They're only pistols,
go slowly.
Man. They're only pistols, man. And these are. I spent some time on these guys last night. These are my Iraqi officers, complete with the Iraqi porn stash that apparently everybody had in that war. Yeah. There's 1 real officer in there with an AKSU. Be careful of him. But other than that, yeah.
So if I move,
if you move into either Mike, if you move adjacent to them, yeah, they'll be able to see you. If you move into Mike 4, they'll be able to see you. Because N4 is not a building hex. It's wherever the graphics cover the dot in the center of the hex is what governs the hex.
Okay. So. Do I just go shit and bust and do a straight up assault straight through into them? Or do I go adjacent, try and suppress, and then move into the hex? Do they get opportunity if I go into M5 or M6?
Oh,
yes. M4 or M4?
Yeah, they'll get opportunity fire.
Can I shoot and then move?
No. Number 1, that's no. And number 2, you can shoot and move next turn. So technically yes, but right now you can't see anybody.
Mhm.
Also, I'm trying to figure out
Can
what's
I
going
put
on
smoke
Twitch.
into M6?
Give me 2 seconds to try and restart this window.
Mhm.
Wow, that's real disappointing. Yeah, our Twitch stream is completely not working at all. Hopefully, guys, it's going at least okay on YouTube, but that's a little bit more what I'm concerned about. Is that it is at least recording on YouTube.
Can I use the grenade launchers to smoke M5 and M6?
Yes. In fact, let me go down here and get her markers. Alright, cool. So the 2 grenade launchers will go ahead and go ahead and put smoke in there. Or, okay. Yeah. Firing before you move, but to just lay down smoke, it's fine. Yeah, I got it.
And then everyone will move into L6. L5, rather.
L5. Nobody can see each other yet.
Mhm.
Alright, any more movement?
No, that'll do for now.
It's asking what was the point of the smoke grenades in these 2 hexes.
Do you want to set up some cover for next turn, I think?
Oh, okay, cool.
I think so, yeah.
No worries. Okay, that was operator movement. Oh, I never did my movement. Okay, I won't move him. I won't move them. One of the big advantages is that for the operators is that the hostiles are supposed to move first. So I won't move anything that'll affect your move. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, like these 2 guys probably should have moved up on that ridge, but that wouldn't be fair now. Because we did this. It's my fault for doing the turn out of order. That would be like ridiculously cheesy. Suddenly these 2 assholes pop up on your flank. They would have a clear shot at you, and that would be not cool. That unit had a clear shot at you, but it's on fire. That line of unit has no chance to shoot yet. Okay, so I still don't think you have any targets. I could be wrong about that. Let me check. The long range stuff especially. Blocked by buildings, buildings obviously, blocked by ridge, blocked by ridge. Yeah, this was a pretty small scenario. I didn't go all out on this one. Alright, so I don't think anyone has any fire on turn 3. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Nope.
Cool. No close combat, no bleed outs, no victory checks. Cool, we'll go to turn 4. I'll check on the chat and the stream health again. Cool. Turn 4 with hostile vehicle movement. I bailed out of pedestrian movement. Alright, let me zoom in here because I have to keep track of this stuff. These 2 guys have not moved or attacked. So they're still covered and concealed. These guys just moved 3 hexes to get into the hex. They will not get those benefits. So I have to kind of keep this, even though they're all in the same hex, I have to keep the 2 groups of people in the hex a little bit more, whatchamacallit, I have to keep them separate so I can keep track of their different states. So we have a cover. Guys don't get anything. Okay, that will be it for my pedestrian movement. We then go to your vehicle movement, which you can now do since you've got guys in the driver's seat. Meanwhile, in the chat, we've got, yeah, a little bit of lag in the YouTube. Sorry about that, guys. I have no control over that. The only thing I could do is cut the stream and restart it, which I would rather not do because, I mean, unless it gets completely intolerable, because that wrecks the recording. And now there's no Sunday content, and now there's a hole in our schedule. So I would rather not do that. You know, cut the stream entirely. But again, for anyone who's watching in Twitch, which doesn't look like very many people, because again, Twitch has completely crashed on us. It looks like. If anyone tries to log on Twitch, there's a link in the comments. Follow that link, takes you to our YouTube stream, which is at least working a little. Anthony Dickinson says, lob a granddad off in the building. Oh, a grenade. Yeah, I think he's about to do that. Technically, he has already fired 2 grenades into the building. When you said granddad, I was like, are you talking about like the father of all bombs or something? Like drop a JDAM in there or a MLRS strike or something? Yep. We're going to do the next best thing. We're going to do an SAS team. All right, so sorry, Damon, we're back on your vehicle movement, if any.
They're going to hold position at the moment.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, that little bit of bother over there on his right flank made him pause for a second there. There's a small force that might start to cause a little bit of issue over here. We'll see what happens. All right, cool. Next. We've already done my pedestrian movement. You've passed on vehicle movement. Okay, your pedestrian movement.
Okay, so we're going to be moving into Mike 5 and Mike 6. So a grenade launcher into each one, a saw into each one, and the squad leader will go into Mike 6.
Okay, there's the squad leader. Grenade launcher and cool. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take the old opportunity fire. You will get benefit for the smoke screen that you deployed in there earlier. And when I take opportunity fire, I automatically lose the conceal bonus on my covered and concealed. Because obviously I'm no longer concealed. We then therefore drop down to just covered. Okay. Also, you moved only 1 hex, right?
Yep.
Cool. The benefit there, you guys are both now also covered. So you get to roll your defense dice twice, and you get to add 1 for the concealed. So yeah, he's walking into a shitload of gunfire, guys. But he did take some proper precautions. He's advancing under smoke, and he's launching his strike from only 1 hex away, which means he gets the best benefit of, you know, tactical movement within the building, cover and concealment, and things like that. Let's see here. How you doing? What rule set is this? Is this on Vassal? Oh man, we got all kinds of stuff going on here. Okay, going on. So in response to Anthony Dickinson's lob a granddad off the building, Jen asks, I must have missed something. Why are we throwing relatives off of the roof? No, we're talking about grenades. That's fine. And then View from the Turret says, what rule set is this? This is Sitrep Skirmish, originally designed for our 13 hours to 13 days system that we built, oh god, when was it? Last year for the 2012 Benghazi incident. It's sort of our own very shorthand system that we use for skirmish games. It's made for streaming. It's made to be very, very simple. Like this is like almost half the rules right here. And then this is the rest of them. So yeah, there's not a heck of a lot to it. We're kind of, we're always adding a little bit to it as we go every time we play it. It was originally created for the Benghazi 2012 scenario. We spent like, good God, like 6 months working on that project. And then when we were finally done and we ran the transit game, that's when the GRS was originally making its run toward the ambassador's compound, or the U.S. consulate compound there in Benghazi. We ran that game a couple times, and then it was like, I don't want to have spent 6 months on this and only got to play it once. So we've since been using it for our skirmish games. Basically, whenever we have like a skirmish itch for a given modern scenario, we use this. The scenario that we're actually running right now is based on the Scud Hunters, 22nd SAS versus Iraqi Army. Namely, I think it was the 224 Scud Brigade of the Iraqi Army. Right before the ground war started in 1991. So about 30 years ago to the date. I think the first SAS team was inserted on 20 January. So by 24 January, yeah, we've got some skirmishes in progress. What else have we got going on here? So we've used it for cartels. We've used it for Colombian cartels, Mexican cartels, SAS versus Iraqi insurgents in 2005. Here we're using it with SAS versus Iraqi Army in 1991. It is very, very, very loosely based on force on force. Originally, very loosely, I mean it's like dice codes. D6 is a bad soldier, D8 is a good soldier, D10 is a very good soldier, D12 is like John Wick plus Chuck Norris. Just don't get D12s. One or two guys in that 12s are extremely rare. That's kind of what we got here. D8s, D10s, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so what else is going on here? Hello, Mr. Rasmus. How you doing? Glad you could join us. Like 5-second drops. Okay, I apologize for that, guys. And when we get those 5-second drops in our... So that's going to actually leave us with some content in our schedule. So very good for that. Anthony says it's fine on his end now. Thanks very much. Anthony then goes on to say, that's what I would have done in the first place. Drop in, the mother of all bombs. There you go. That was the original plan. Again, these Scud hunting missions wasn't supposed to be like this, Delta Force style, Lee Marvin, Dirty Dozen kind of a infantry strike. It's supposed to be creep up over the ridge. I see the Scud missile. I call in the coordinates on a brand spanking new technology we call GPS. If you ever think the Gulf War doesn't affect your everyday life, remember this next time you log onto Facebook. It invented the internet and it invented GPS, or at least was the first real-world test of these systems. Basically call in the position of the Scud launcher, or maybe even put a laser designator on it, and that's when the airstrike comes in. That was the idea. That's what was presented in the media in those days as far as the Scud Hunters. That's kind of how the Scud Hunter legend kind of got started. Looking at the numbers, it didn't really work. By the time the Air Force got there, the Scuds had moved. Usually under a highway underpass was the effective tactic that the Iraqis would use. So that leads to this game today where the airstrike didn't come in on time. The missile was about to launch toward Israel. And because this is one of the Western Scud missions that we're talking about. Way out here, Tango Delta 9. Here's another location for it. So this Scud was about to launch toward Tel Aviv and, perhaps bring Israel into the war. So the SAS took matters into their own hands and they attacked it on the ground. So, had a quick look on Twitch and moved to YouTube. Yeah, I put our Twitch stream has crashed, Rasmus. Sorry about that. That's why I put the link over to YouTube over in here. Ben says that building is a busy spot. Well, it's about to be. It's about to be hella busy. Okay, let's finally get to it. Opportunity fire is going to be tough, but with this many bullets, I'm hoping I get lucky once. I want to knock down at least one SAS guy. Okay, so I'm going to start with my biggest weapon, which is my 3D8 RPD light machine gun. Eating out with RPD, yeah, you know me. I get 3d8. I get +1 to my roll because of point blank range, except -1 because it's opportunity fire. Never mind. It's just going to be 3d8. You get to roll your defense dice, which is always a d10 for SAS. Add 1 for the smoke, and you get to roll your dice twice. Let me pull up Mr. Skype there. All right.
Oh, shit.
Oh, sweet. I might actually hit somebody. Okay, who am I engaging? I didn't declare that ahead of time. And now that I know I'm probably going to hit, it would be unfair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm counting from top to bottom. Let me get one of my badass new D5s that somebody bought for me and shipped over. Damon, thank you very much. Number 2. All right, so I am shooting at Mr. Farkas here. Notice Mr. Farkas has red hair. If anyone ever watches The Christmas Story, you see Scott Farkas. Apparently he grew up and he joined the SAS. That's where I got the name for Scott Farkas from. Hopefully, we're going to see if I kill Matt Farkas right here. So your highest roll was a 2, Damon?
Yep.
All right, so 2 + 1 for smoke becomes a 3. I have to beat a 3 at least once on 3d8. Oh yeah, he's very hit. Bam, bam, bam. In fact, I hit him 3 times. So I'm pretty sure I got him. Okay, roll 3d6. One's for going to be wound table right here.
Here's where I roll really big. 1, 1, and 4.
Ooh, he got away with that. So mostly. So 1 and 1, it basically got eaten up by the body armor. No effect, no effect, no worries. 4 is severely wounded. So yeah, he's actually hit. He's actually bleeding now. He actually kind of got away with that. Given the fact he just ate a face full of RPD, 3 solid hits. Cool. All right, that's it for my RPD. Next, I'm just going to start rolling. Okay, so I'm going to start with the saws. So, Mr. Dayburn, 4d8. You're rolling 2d10, adding 1 to your best result.
5 and a 10, so 6 and 11.
I literally can't hit that even if I roll an 8. So that's it for AK number 1. AK number 2, also on Dayburn. Repeat that. This time I rolled a 5.
4 and a 6, so
that's
5 and 7.
That's my second AK, my third AK. This is the actual platoon leader. Oh god, 4 and a 4. Go ahead.
2 and 7, so 3 and 8.
Okay, that was all 3 of those AKs. The RPD already fired. Now I'm going to go down to my AKSUs. First, the junior officer there with the 2d6. Here we go, a 6.
Ooh, 1 and 3.
Alright, cool. That is going to be...
2 and 4.
Yeah, so that's going to be 2 hits. Cool. Alright, roll 2 more d6s on that same wound table.
1 and 4.
Another severe wound, which I just went right past the wound table. Yeah, severe is 4 wounded. -1 to all attack dice classes. Never mind interpreter checks. He does have a bleed out check coming. And then we're going to have to make a medical check to see if we can get him stabilized. He's going to continue to bleed out until someone spends an action to patch him up. Alright, cool. So at least the game isn't totally one-sided now. We do have some wounded people. Alright, that was most of my fire. Now I have 1 more submachine gun and then my pistolier there. Okay. In the words of Saddam Hussein from Hot Shots Part 2, however you say it, you have dicked with the wrong dictator. Alright, 2d6.
5 and 7, so 6 and 8.
Alright, cool. Those both beat. And then I got 1d6 with my pistol guy. He gets a 4.
2 and 3.
Nice. That is going
3
to
and
be
4.
1 more hit. That was going to be on the other...
I just did it to 4.
Let me pull your dice cam again.
2 and 3, so I just did 3 and 3
Oh,
and
that's
4.
right. You get to add 1 for smoke, which means your 3 becomes a 4, ties my 4. I get a +1 for point blank fire. I get a -1 for opportunity fire, so my 4 stays a 4. That's a tie, and a tie is always a miss. So never mind. That was it for that. Oh god. Now I'm going to get chewed up into little bits. Cool. So we're still technically in your movement phase. We're now done with your movement phase. We now go to your fire phase. which you fire first, and that is by design. So yeah, guys, this game system is meant to create situations where we have very few kick-ass Chuck Norris level badasses versus a horde of buffoons. They're usually like militia or insurgents, Taliban, you know. Here we're actually trying them up against regular army, so, but still there's supposed to be that big disparity. If I can wound or kill a couple of his guys and then I get tabled, I'm fine with that, you know. I'm not really counting these two severely wounded guys as, you know, really wounded yet because he still gets a medic check on him. Although right now they're both severely wounded in that hex, so nobody can. Well, we'll see. We'll see. There's this. The jury's not quite out yet on this. Chuck Norris can hear Braille. My favorite Chuck Norris joke is they were going to put Chuck Norris on Mount Rushmore, but the granite was too soft for his beard, so they couldn't do it. Okay, that was my opportunity fire. We now go to your direct fire. Cool. So are you going to shoot from there, or are you going to go ahead and assault into that room? Honestly, given their numbers, I would probably just shoot from here first.
Yeah, I'm thinking shooting. Can both the grenade launchers still fire? Is one of them wounded?
Yeah, the grenade launcher guy. Well, actually, those. Oh, I screwed up. The two SAW guys are up there. Sorry, you did specifically say that to put one SAW guy in each hex. Apologies. I will fix that right now. Grenade launcher guy, grenade launcher guy. Yeah, the grenade launcher guys, it's the two SAW gunners that are wounded.
Right.
I went for the SAW gunners first. And those two smoke grenades were fired last turn. So yes, your grenade launcher guys can totally shoot. Oh god, I just realized I have like 7 guys in that hex. 8 guys, and those grenades affect everything in the hex. Shit. Guys, this is what happens when you put too many guys in one hex. What did Anthony Dickinson say? Just lob a grenade in there and take the whole group out. That's about what's exactly going to happen.
So 2 frags into the room.
Right. So the 2 grenade launchers are going to fire first. There's no friendlies in the room, so you can do that because again, it affects everything in the hex. So absolutely. Wow, our YouTube stream is like way behind. What the hell is going on in there? Oh man. Okay, I'm not sure how bad the latency is on our YouTube stream, guys. But it's way back there. You know what? While we wait for the YouTube stream to kind of catch up here, I'm going to go ahead and reduce that. That didn't help at all. Come on. You know, machine, internet, you ruin all the work that I do on this, and it's not cool, dude. It really isn't cool. Alright guys, I'm hoping that I'm not like super far behind on our latency here. Yeah, I'm looking at our stream now. I don't even know where the hell we are in the stream. As far as, give me a second to see what's going on here on my cellular. Wow. Alright, hopefully it's our playback on our YouTube. I know it's on our internet. Sorry. So hopefully you guys are seeing a better stream than I am right now, because right now I'm seeing like really, really bad. It's like a slideshow, and it's from like 4 or 5 minutes ago. The latency is out of control. So hopefully that's just me. I think it is because my cell phone can't even find the internet right now. So I'm hoping this is a playback issue on my side. Okay. So let's go forward. Okay, frag grenade number 1, that's going to be Collins. He's going to go ahead and roll a... okay, what do you got there? Did you try to roll?
No, so what am I rolling, sorry?
Oh, it's a D10. Yeah, it's a straight out D10.
Yep.
The problem is that problem for me is that it affects everything in the hex. Because, yeah, I got a lot in that hex.
First roll is a 5.
Okay, is a 5. So, okay, officer number 1. My webcam is showing. Officer number 1 gets a 7. He's okay. Officer number 2 gets an 8. He's okay. Officer number 3 gets a 3. He is no longer concealed. He no longer gets a +1. He is dead. You've killed the actual main pistol guy, the main commander. He ate part of the grenade in the face. Okay, then I have 4 AK guys. So AK guy number 1, 7, he's okay. AK guy number 2, 6, he's okay. AK guy number 3, he's dead. Oh no, that's my platoon leader. I liked him. Okay, AK guy number 4, he's also gone. AK, now the RPD guy. RPD guy rolls a 6, he's okay. Alright, that's the effect of the first grenade. Go ahead and lob in your second grenade. That is from Sergeant Yarmouth up there in the north.
5 again.
Okay, repeat. First AK guy gets an 8. Second AK guy, or no, the submachine gun guy gets a 5. He barely made it. 2d8. Now I'm up to my my assault rifle guys. 5, he's okay. Second AKM. 5 and an 8, he's okay. 3D, now for my RPD. 5, he's okay. So second grenade didn't really have any effect. Okay, and now we head over to whatever weapons you have after that.
So it's the 2 saws. They're both wounded, aren't they?
Yeah, so they will go down from 46 to 40, from 48s to 46s.
Okay.
So saw number 1 is Dayburn. Who is he shooting at? Or he can split his dice pool, obviously, between different targets, if he wants.
Okay, so 2 dice at the RPD and 2 dice at one of the
AKMs?
AKs.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So first we'll do the 2d6 versus my 2d8. Here we go. This is for the RPD guy. I got a 7.
3 and a 4.
Alright, awesome. He survived. Now the AK guy.
1 and a 5.
Okay, it's possible. 7. He's okay. Alright, so yeah, he's wounded. He's kind of laying on his side, and he's pretty much firing the saw one-handed. He's pretty much just spraying randomly into the next room. Okay, and now for the second saw gunner, that's going to be very similar.
Same again.
That is going to be, did we already do Farkas? Now we're doing Dayburn. Yeah, same thing. 2d6s versus double 5s.
Double 5.
1 and a 2. The RPD guy is down. Awesome. Now against the first AK guy.
3 and a 6.
A 1 and a 4. You got them both. Dayburn with the watch cap. He gives no shits. Splat. Oh no. Now we just have some 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like we've got 1 guy left. I think that's
the
squad leader Nathan with 2d10 on the assault rifle.
Yep. So he'll do 1 dice at one of the AK bloke, at the last AK bloke, and 1 dice at one of the guys with the SMG.
Okay. Cool. He gets his full dice. I get my full dice. 2d10 for the assault rifle guy. Oh, he's only going to put 1 on the assault rifle guy, right?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Yep. Oh. Hang on. Throw it in. Weeds.
Probably got it given
8.
my die roll. Yeah, I only got a 1 and a 3. AK guy is down. Now for the submachine gunner.
1.
Sweet, he survived. Alright, so we just got 2 officers in there, still covered. And that will conclude. I don't think anyone else has any targets at the moment. You guys back here in the Wimmix.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we go over to my fire. I have no line of sight. These guys that are point blank took their fire early. That was their opportunity fire. So they don't get to shoot again. That's the end of my fire phase. Okay. Normally that would be the end of the turn, except now we do have some medic checks. Okay, so... Oh, medic checks takes place... Ooh, sorry. That doesn't happen yet. Medic checks takes place before operator, small arms, militia, small arms. So that's kind of already passed. So, plus all your guys have fired. So never mind. There's no close combat yet. Bleed out check. Alright, bleed out check for a severely wounded operator is a 5+. So roll 2d6, one for each of your saw gunners. Roll them one at a time because we got two different guys, Farkas and Dayburn.
Mm-hmm.
So for Farkas, roll a d6. Try not to roll a 5 or a 6. Uh-oh.
I rolled a 6.
6? Okay, he's now incapacitated. He passes out from blood loss. Roll 1 for, that was the first one. I think that was Farkas.
I'm good at rolling 6s.
Oh man, okay, so they're both bleeding out. They're now both incapacitated. If they bleed out again, they die. Go ahead and be honest, David. You actually just like feel sorry for me right now.
Yeah, something like that.
Alrighty.
You know how good I am at doing 6s when I don't need them.
Right. Why am I getting like Dark Star flashbacks right now? Medic checks, bleed out checks, close combat, victory check. Okay, cool. That ends the turn, and then I will catch up with Mr. Chat. Damn it.
Or engineering tanks trying to get onto a bridge.
Oh my god. Remember, I was actually just talking about that game in Discord the other day. People were talking about the longest games they've ever played. I'm like, I played a 37-hour game of Renegade Legions once, but the longest game that I've played recently was 9.5 hours of Panzerleader straight at Gold Beach. And that was the one where Andrew was trying to land his tanks of, I think it was Sherman Yeomanry. And it was just like Sherman sinks, Sherman sinks, Sherman sinks. He was like 6, 6, 6. My boy was just throwing those bricks. I was like, Drew, man, stop. I made all these nice counters for you, and now you're just sinking them all in the damn English Channel. Stop doing that! You were the one that kept hitting the teller mines on the end of the poles. You kept driving your battalion commander just drove right into the mine and blew himself up. Alright, so now we are on, we just finished turn 4. We're now going to start turn 5. Sorry, I got distracted there. Talking about an old game. Alright, cool. Now I'll catch up with Mr. Chet. This is so much like my Vietnam miniatures campaign. Hold on, I think I missed some chat earlier. Okay, cool. So Ben says, yeah, we're continuing with the Chuck Norris jokes. Chuck Norris can start, definitely a good one. Corporal Bright has some great news. PBR Scorpion reports 106 civilian casualties. Successfully evacuated to the... So you took 100 casualties from that... 106 casualties were evacuated? How did you wind up with more evacuations than casualties? Maybe people were stampeded on their way to the ambulance. I'm just playing around. I mean, I know. Jen says that her favorite Chuck Norris joke is Chuck Norris's cheers can cure cancer is the good news. Bad news, Chuck Norris never cries. So, yeah, we're still stuck with cancer apparently. Vorpalbite says, this is so much like my Vietnam miniatures campaign. I tell you what, Vorpalbite, when we get done with our Gulf War coverage, what we'll do is we'll dust off our Valor and Victory Vietnam games. All those maps are already built, all those counters. We have Valor and Victory armies built for U.S. Army, U.S. Marine Corps, South Vietnamese Army, Australian Army, American Space. So just among the Allies, I have like 7 factions. And then, of course, for the Communists, I have NLF, or Viet Cong if you prefer, and PAVN, or North Vietnamese Army if you prefer. We have tanks, we have aircraft, we have all the goodies. That's a fully developed expansion for Valor and Victory. We do really big battalion-level games, company-level games at least. We just haven't done one recently because we've been stuck with, we've been really hitting the Gulf War very hard, given the dates. cool. Can't really tell. We see a zoomed-in view of the building. Oh, we are seeing pictures of dancing girls and free beer coupons. Oh, that would be nice. Ben says grenade to the face. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. So yeah, they're catching up on the stream now as far as latency goes. Oh my God, yeah, they are way back there minutes ago. Holy crap. Yeah, he got hit face and grenade really hard. Hit in the face with a grenade. Trust me, he knew it would happen. That's true. That's true. Anthony Dickinson says, yeah, that would hurt, says Vorpal Bite, and then Anthony Dickinson says, no way, that would be instant death. I was going to say, if an actual frag grenade exploded, like, in your face, you probably wouldn't feel very much pain at all. Can we get an instant replay on the kill cam, right? Hey, guys, if this is recording properly on YouTube, you know, you can see a, replay of this whenever you want. Maybe we'll do a supercut. We'll get all the highlights put together. Rasmus then adds, the retail value of that building is in free fall. Dude, that building is tanked. That building is wrecked. Actually 4 grenades have now gone off in that building. 2 smoke, 2 fragmentation. At least 500 rounds of ammunition have gone off. Yeah, there's at least 7 or, wait a minute. There were 8, there's now 2. There are 6 either wounded or dead Iraqis in there. 2 passed out British. There's blood splattered off the ceiling. That that building is a mess. I mean, there's already an abandoned radar site, so it's all fine. Alrighty, let me take a drink and then we'll get going again. Ugh. Cool. Alright, guys. Starting turn 5 here. Turn 5 is hostile vehicle movement. I don't have any hostile pedestrian movement. You know what? I'm going for it. We're cresting the ridge. Everything's in range. We only moved 1 hex, so all these guys are still covered.
Mars says hi.
I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, Moss says hi. I assume they do. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of opportunity fire coming down here. 2 Maw deuces, man. Just unloading on these fools. Okay, Maws have a 3d12 attack dice. Dear God, that's just scary to say. Versus, I only have d8s because I'm Iraqis. However, I did only move 1 hex, which means I get the cover bonus. So I get to at least roll twice and take the best result. So, small favors. Okay. Let me move this over here so I can... Alright, cool. So... Let's go ahead and take the first one. Alright, so I assume that you're going to be shooting at the RPD first?
Yep.
There's an RPD in there.
Yeah, I'll do 1 dice at each from each gun.
Oh, okay, cool. So you're literally just going to, like, try to knock beer cans off this fence. All at once. Ting, 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 ting. Okay, so the first one will be the RPD. 1d12 versus my 2d8s. You're stationary. I have no, so there's no penalties. There's no bonuses. I gotta find a place I can put this damn dice tray where it's not in the way. And I can still actually get the. Okay, there we go. Oh my God, a 12. Okay, yeah, that 50 caliber bullet went like right between, and he's feeling no pain. That's it for him. Okay, second D against my 2d8s. A 1 and a 6, and you have an 8. Okay, he's also dead. Third one. Oh, for crying out loud, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's... Okay, this plan might not have worked. I was hoping at least 1 or 2 of these guys would survive. Okay, the first... Baldus literally did that. He knocked down all 3. God damn it, man. I probably should have thrown a smoke grenade up there first. At least give me a +1. Although it wouldn't have helped me so far. Okay, let's see if the second Maldives is just as lucky. I get a 6.
6.
He survives that. Awesome. Second one. 6 again.
2.
He survives that. Third one. Another 6.
9.
Alright, so that's one AK guy knocked down. Why is there not a... Oh, there's not an RPD guy in there. Okay, never mind. I forgot I only had one RPD in there. There was one fire team and the truck crew. So there's one truck driver left and one guy left out of that fire team. Okay, that will conclude opportunity fire.
Yeah, the drivers were back in the driver's seat. I did say that, didn't I? So.
Yeah. Okay. So
can they use the side out the small arms?
They can shoot out of the vehicle, yeah, just with the regular rifles. Which, yeah, they both have assault rifles, right? Folsom and Jameson are just regular sling arms and open fire just with the regular weapons. Because they're not driving, the vehicles aren't moving. So now these vehicles can't move when your vehicle movement phase comes around. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. So 2d10 versus my 2d8.
A 2 and an 8.
All right, that's one guy knocked down. Second guy, 2d10 versus my 2d8. It's the truck driver.
Double 6.
I need some new d8s, man. That did not go well at all. Okay, well, they earned their pay for today. Alrighty. Let me go ahead and finish up my movement if that's quite okay with you.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if I should even do this. Oh, what the hell.
Walk into the charnel house.
Yep. He did not take opportunity fire. However, they did move 3 boxes, so they get cover. These guys don't. These guys are, however, going to pop a smoke. Because it's part of their movement. Cool. There's probably smoke in there anyway from everything else that's been happening in there. Okay. So, I'm pretty sure that's it. We're ready to go to hostile, no, sorry. That was my movement. We go now to your vehicle movement, which you don't have. Any movement you want to do among your pedestrians?
How good am I at melee combat?
Oh, sorry. While I was moving into November 5, if you wanted to, your guys in Mike 5 and Mike 6 could take opportunity fire if they chose. Or we could talk about...
Does that include the grenade launchers?
I think you've got grenade launchers in there, yeah. Now, the incapacitated guys cannot shoot, but those are the saw gunners.
Yep.
Okay? Anybody who shoots cannot do a medic check. So, and if you fail another bleed out check, and your bleed out checks for incapacitated are now 3+, I think, then they die.
The team in Mike 6.
Hell, I even went into that hex. Oh well, too late now. I should have spread out and hit you from both wings. So instead of doing this, because I'm an idiot, 1, 2, 3, I should have done 1, 2, 3, shoot, 1, 2, 3, shoot, is what I should have done. Oh well. I'm no more vulnerable because, you know, no matter what, I moved 3 hexes.
Yep.
But I would have been less vulnerable to this grenade by just packing more people into this explosion factory that we've got here in November 5. But that's okay. Yeah. So you're going to fire Collins first down here?
Yep.
All right, cool. 1d10. Let me get the...
Come on.
Yeah, this is an important roll.
7.
Shit. That's probably game. That's probably game. To answer the question earlier that people were asking, is this D5 real? Yes, this D5 is totally real. Actually, Damon bought and sent these to me. Back when we used to play Darkstar, D5s is a thing you actually need a lot of in Darkstar for certain warship classes. But it's basically just a D10 numbered twice is how you get a D5. Now I have to roll a bunch of D8s. So I'm still covered and I have smoke. So I get to roll 2 D8s for each one of my guys, adding 1 for smoke. And I have to beat...
Do the 4 guys that moved in get 2 dice? They get 1 because they moved 3.
They only get the 1 dice. Also, you're point blank and didn't take opportunity fire, so that 8 goes up to an odd for explosive weapons. Sorry. Alright, so it's a 7. So first, Iraqi commander. Rolls double 9s, basically. He's okay. Second Iraqi commander. Gets a 5, becomes a 6. He is dead. And now the rest of the group only get 1 D8. And what number are we looking at again? 7 becomes... Yeah, 7.
You need 6s.
So yes, yeah, I need 6s now. Okay, so first assault rifle guy. He is dead. Second assault rifle guy. He is dead. RPD guy. He is dead. And third and last AK guy. Hey, he survives. I have 1 guy left in there. Oh God. I hate my life. My entire army is now literally 1 guy. Technically, I have a zoo crew back here, but I don't think they're going to get into the fight.
Your officers survived, Jim.
I did have I did have an officer survive. Shit, I bleeded my guys too quickly. These 3 guys are toast. Thank you. The officer is screaming for these 2 guys to pick up the zoo and like carry it on their backs across the desert. Sir, no, it doesn't work that way, sir. We'll call the guys in the truck and have them towed over here. Those guys are dead, sir. They're all dead, sir. The SAS, they've butchered us all. Okay.
They're all dead, Dave.
Alrighty. So that's that's just the two grenade launchers. That was 1 grenade launcher. Okay. Taking any more opportunity fire?
No, I need to medic roll my 2 wounded, so I need to. My other 2 guys need to medic.
No big deal because we've already passed it. This is a rules error on my mistake. You can't take opportunity. Oh, because never mind. Explosion affects everybody in the hex no matter what. Never mind. No rules mistake. Because technically you took opportunity fire against guys that didn't move, but again, explosive weapons. It went off in the hex and now affects everything in the hex. So we're good. I thought I had made a rules mistake, but we're all fine here now.
Oh, okay.
We're all fine. How are you?
Boring conversation.
Yep. Boring conversation about a rules mistake that didn't happen. Okay, cool. So now that is the end of my movement phase. Your fire phases are done. We go down to... hold on, let me go by the rules sequence. Interpreter checks. Okay, that fire you just took was technically during my movement phase. You can't move. You chose to move no pedestrians. There's no interpreter checks. Now you make medic checks. Alright, cool. So, incapacitated guys. Fire. So he's going to try and take care of Farkas. Nathan did fire. He's going to try and take care of Dayburn. Incapacitated, you need a 5 up for a medical check at this point. When they were severely wounded, you could have gotten away with a 3+. It's still a 5 up for a medic. It's still a 5 up for a bleed out check. I remember it was for the actual medic. Now, if you roll a natural 6, they actually heal 1 level. But if you fail the roll, then they just continue to be unstabilized, and then they're subject to further bleed out checks. If you fail the medic check, they don't get worse. For Mr. Farkas?
2.
Okay, 2. He is he's still incapacitated, obviously, and he's still bleeding out. Okay, now over to Dayburn.
3.
3. He's still possibly bleeding out. Okay, cool. Now we go to fire phase. All your guys have fired. Nobody's not incapacitated anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and fire my 2 guys. Your guys are covered and they're still in smoke, so you get double attack, double defense dice, and +1 for smoke. I get +1 because I am not taking opportunity fire at point blank range. So 2d6 +1 for my carbine. I am shooting at, if I was a real dick, I would just shoot at the incapacitated guy, but I don't even have rules for that. I'm going to go ahead and shoot at Yarmouth with my 2d6 officer. Because you have dicked with the wrong dictator. Complete with his little Saddam Hussein force dash. Okay, here we go with 2d6 versus your 2d10 +1. I get 2d6 +1.
5 and 6, so 6 and 7.
Okay, I literally have to roll a 6 on one of these dice to score a hit. Wait. No, even if I roll a 6, I still miss. Because if I roll a 6, my point blank bone doesn't matter.
All right, yeah.
That's still a tie. Yeah. So, and a tie is a miss. Okay, next I have an assault rifle guy, an AKM gunner. He's going to go ahead and take a shot at Mr. Nathan, your squad leader, because why not? No, we're trying to hit these yeah, I already said it. No worries. My best was a 5. Cool. A 9. The Neo from the Matrix, man.
Matrix.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so that now concludes our fire phases. So everybody else is dead. Operator small arms, militia small arms, close combat none. Bleed out check. We got 2 more dice. Let me pull up Mr. Okay, so roll for Mr. Farkas. Try not to roll a 5 or a 6. And by that I mean please roll a 5 or a 6. Mr. Farkas has slipped away.
Has died.
He has finally died. I finally killed 1 guy. Okay, now we roll for Mr. Dayburn.
A 1.
Alright, Mr. Dayburn is still good. That means he can get another medic check next turn. Cool. Alright, so we do have 1 KIA. Alright, and that concludes the turn. Let me catch up with Mr. Chat. Oh boy, what's going on here? Yeah, the retail value of that building is in free fall. You said it, that's for damn sure. Corporal Bright says 500 rounds, they are horrible shots. Yeah, dude, close combat, it's incredibly hard to hit somebody. There's an optimum range in most like actual firefights, which is almost like a medium range. Once the enemy gets so close, especially in an indoors environment, it can be surprisingly hard to hit somebody. Unless you have like shotguns or, weapons designed for, room clearing. But anyway, he's firing grenades, so yeah, that's totally. Oh, blows whistle, shouts over the top. That right, that's the desperate infantry charge. It's okay. It's really the location, says Jennifer Lemon, that holds the most value. Well, yeah, the location here is again the ass end of nowhere. Like I was joking with Damon before, roll a d6 to encounter wandering Jawas and their sandcrawler. It's that kind of desert. This isn't an Arab-Israeli Wars desert. This isn't a North Africa El Alamein desert. I mean, this is literally Arrakis. Watch out for sandworms, because who knows? You're way out there in the deep, deep desert. So the Bills and the Chiefs for the AFC Championship at 6:40 will definitely be done by then. I'm pretty sure this game is almost over. Ben Johnson. Didn't know it was baseball season. Baseball season. We're talking about football. The Chiefs already claimed the Oh man, football talk. All right, guys, I don't really know the comments, and then just kind of have to go with the flow on that one. The Chiefs already claimed the Browns scalp, so it's Chiefs and Browns. Those are 2 different teams, obviously. So it's the Chiefs and Bills later today for the AFC Championship. Rasmus, are you saying that the Chiefs will probably win because they beat the Browns? I guess the Browns are a good team this year. Anthony says, I haven't watched mainstream TV since 2009. Anthony, you and I are of one mind. By mainstream TV, I think you're talking about like the main networks, ABC, CBS, NBC. We do watch some shows that are NBC only because they get restreamed on Hulu. But other than that, it's all internet cable. We don't watch actual television anymore. Can they swing the AA gun on the building? Yes, they can. They just can't hit. Damon is being very cagey with his lines of sight, which is good. You have to. By the way, Ben, I don't know if you saw this before. You might get a kick out of this. You see this counter with my AA gun? Peep this shit. You may have already seen this. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. Sorry. I did it again. God damn it. If I can ever get it to freaking work here.
I think is that the twist one for the... Oh, wow.
Hey, look at it. It actually swivels. So, yeah, I can totally hit Oscar 6. If there were any British SAS and Oscar 6, they'd be out of gas. The problem is there's building hexes. Obviously, Oscar 6 is in the way. And, yeah, I can't shoot through the building and hit other building hexes. He attacked the building from a blind angle. I did earlier, perhaps before you joined the stream, have one really good shot with my other AA gun, which was down here. Come on, machine. Come on, machine. I'm really getting tired of computers today. They're crapping on my stream, and they're... Yeah, when he first made that approach, he was an F5. He went up around here to kind of get to where he's at. I had a really good opportunity fire shot from that AA gun position, but I missed it. I came within, like, what was it? Like, I basically scored a tie, which is a miss in this game. I was really, really close. But I missed it, especially once he got back behind that stone wall. He got a +1 cover. That's right, it was the stone wall +1 cover that saved you, I think, on that roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just barely missed, because I would have totally taken out one of those Wimics, one of those Land Rovers, which would have been sweet. 23mm cannon versus a Land Rover. Yeah, who's walking away from that get together? But it didn't happen, and the game's been downhill ever since. But we do have one KIA, and we do have another incapacitated guy, so it's not... I mean, the game's lost, but it's not completely one-sided, I'm happy to say. Okay, so I have no vehicle movement on turn 5. We just finished turn 5, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I had a bloke die.
That was... Yeah, we just finished turn 5. We're now going to be in turn 6. Which is almost certainly going to end the game. Okay, I have no... Well, I have a vehicle back here, but no one's there to drive it. He's dead from a while ago. Hostile pedestrian move. Do I really want to move at all? I'm going to go ahead and say no. Unless it's to run away. You know what? Fall back 1 hex. I'm still covered. And popping another smoke.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, at least if he wants to, he has to come to me and I get opportunity fire. Okay. That's going to end my movement. Over to your vehicle movement. Excuse me. Right now you have no vehicle movement because these guys are still... They used their weapons last turn and they were in the driver's...
Yep.
Oh, they're in the driver's seat. Sorry, they can move right now. They fired their regular shoulder arms out of the driver's seat. They can move if they want. These opportunity fire counters are all...
They can't go anywhere to affect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That line of sight goes through that other building next to they can't engage.
Be wary of that
2,
line.
3, 4, 5. Yep. Yeah. There's nowhere. They can't get anywhere to support without exposing themselves. And I'm not taking on a 23mm at that range.
Or at the very least, dismount and maybe take a sniper shot on the crew or something. But at least then, if you lose, you only lose one guy. But then again, you know, you don't have to. They're not an objective. You can take the other objective hex and not ever expose yourself to it. It may be an unnecessary risk, but that's up to you.
Yeah, I don't see any. The mission was covering Overwatch.
Yeah, the mission. Oh yeah, for them, yeah, which they totally handled to the south. Yeah, that whole southern crossfire I was trying to set up, that shit didn't work at all. I mean, those poor bastards, they didn't last like half a phase.
So we've got one dead, one dying, and 3 effectives still on the assault. So I need 1 for a medic. That leaves 2 effectives to take on your 2. So I've got a grenade launcher and an assault rifle to take on. No, hang on. Yes. Grenade launcher Yarmouth, and the other grenade launcher. Both grenade launchers.
Basically 2 grenade launchers, unless you want to pass off medic duty, and then the squad leader can take it in. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm. Now I think the grenades are the most useful weapon. So the objective is still smoked, isn't it?
Yep. It's ironically my smoke, but it's still there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the 2 grenade launchers are going to advance onto the objective.
Mission fulfilled, if nothing else. Okay, you only moved 1 hex, so you still get the covered bonus, and you are in a smoke screen, which is good, which means you get a +1. I'm going to take opportunity fire. Opportunity fire means that I have a -1 off my bonus, +1 for point blank range, so that all washes out. Basically, you're rolling your defense dice twice, and you're adding 1 for smoke. The point blank and opportunity fire bonuses wash out. So that leaves us with... Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and... You know what? I just don't like Yarmouth for some reason. I don't like blondes. I don't know. They're both blonde. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to pick on him because he has a goofy name. So, 2d6 for my officer to wrap things up here. Come on, Mr. Webcam. Oh, wrong thing. Webcam, dummy. Okay, you get to roll 2d10, add 1 to the result. 2d6, add nothing. I wound up with a 5 was my best roll. You have a 8, so you're good to go.
9 adjusted, yep.
Yep. Okay, now my other guy is also shooting at Yarmouth. 2d8 for this assault rifle. 2d10, add 1. Okay, I did get a 7. Damn, any damage.
Sorry.
No worries. Alright, cool. And that will be it for my opportunity fire. We now go to the rest of your pedestrian movement, which is none. Medic checks. Nathan with Dayburn. You need to roll a 5 up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, damn.
Close. Okay, now we do your direct fire, which is going to be Yarmouth and Collins. 2 grenades. Oh, God. 1d10. Who you want to shoot first? Or does it matter?
They're both going to file simultaneously.
Okay, cool. Well, no, that's actually not fair. Would you get a 5 and a 7 there? Okay, yep. So I'm going to have to beat the 5 and the 7. First, I do have to add 1 to my roll. So I'm going to do the officer with the carbine first. So first I have to beat a 5. I did beat a 5. Now I have to beat a 7. Next guy, my beat a 5. He did. Then he has to beat a 7. He did. I still have a freaking... I think he's going to surrender. Because my army is now literally 1 dude. Hello, Assam, please do not shoot me. Okay.
And he's been on the receiving end of, what, 6 frags now?
At the moment. Mr. Dayburn, roll a d6 for your bleed out check, sir. Because you were still not stabilized.
Oy. Oh, 4.
He's okay. He's hanging on. Dude, that's like drama, man. Just hang in there, man. Bird's on the way. There's no bird on the way. All right. And that's going to complete turn 6. The beginning of turn 7 is going to be this guy's going to go ahead and run out the door. 1, 2, 3. And I'm hoping you won't come after him, because if you do, you're going to walk into these 2 23mm cannons. Alright, cool. So,
evacuate the wounded.
This guy goes back here. Yeah, you have to get him back there. There are rules for that in the game. We won't get super into it right now. But there are rules that for actually carrying fatalities off the table. Wounded and fatalities, it's the same rule. Incapacitated is the same as KIA. Game purpose-wise, neither of them can shoot, and you have to carry them. It's just for narrative purposes. Obviously, the deceased guy's not coming back. Okay, at the end of turn 7, which we're kind of doing, super fast shorthand here. Roll a d6 again to try and stabilize that wounded.
Yes, 6.
All right, cool. He's stabilized. So he doesn't get any better. Oh, you rolled a natural 6?
Yep.
He actually gets 1 better. He actually regains consciousness. He goes to severely wounded. Move to end, yes. So he actually wakes up as he's being loaded. So he's now severely wounded, which is technically conscious. Okay, this guy was running away. This guy came back here, picked him up. This guy came back here. He's now severely wounded. So carrying a fatality costs you 1 movement point. So the end of turn 7 technically gets you here. This guy spent his turn resuscitating Dayburn, so there's no movement there. 2, 3, he goes back there, and then from then on, who knows what happens. The Scud launch, what is that? The M, the Maz 543 truck's taken out. The abandoned radar site with all the intelligence in there has been taken out, so no worries there. Technically, on turn 8, no one has to carry the severely wounded Dayburn. He only has a movement rate of 2, but that still gets him back there. He gets back there with no problem. He finishes his movement. They get back into the Land Rovers, and they haul ass out of there. So that is mission complete. Cost of 1 KIA and 1 severely injured.